Welcome to the Murray Pioneers Riverland Football Grand Final preview. First time we've ever done this, but it's going to be a bit of fun and hopefully you'll enjoy it. I'm Nick Dillon. I'll introduce our first guest, Paul Mitchell, who's a former Barmera-Monash footballer, Rook Kingston coach, expert punter and a big fan of The Bachelor.
Yes.
To his left is Trevor Norton, former Loxton North footballer, now Rook Kingston man, local media personality, counsellor, environmental crusader, and he swears by a banana to battle a hangover.
Thanks for that long welcome, Nick. Bit concerned that the working title of More Ball Online wasn't used.
Yeah, well, we could probably work that in there somewhere.
But happy to be here.
Fantastic.
And he has had a banana this morning.
He has. He's had a few wines last night. So, and lastly, our special guest today, Barmera-Monash A-grade football coach Shane Uren, who's leading his boys into the grand final tomorrow against Waikerie. So it's a big 24 hours coming up for him. Yeah, so obviously we're going to preview tomorrow's game, which is going to be an absolute cracker. Barmera-Monash and Waikerie. We'll obviously cover the other grades a bit later on, but we'll get stuck into the A-grade. Big week for you guys on the track this week, Rambo. I imagine it would have just been, you've been through this all before, you've just gone through the motions, you know it's...
Bit of a different preparation for us this year, I think, Nick. We're taking it as just a game of football, really. There's been no real hype or anything. Obviously, the boys know that they're playing in a grand final, so internally they're probably building up and getting excited, but it's just been another week of football. We've kept everything the same right through the whole season.
So is that different to last year? Was there a bit of overhype last year, do you reckon?
Yeah, we probably, even 2012 even, we probably, we went with, let's really celebrate it, and so there's been no team dinners or anything like we've done the last 2 years. It's just been very, very low key.
One thing I noticed last year, before the game I happened to sort of just walk past the change rooms, and I might have ducked in and said good luck or something to you, mate. But I thought the guys were fairly relaxed. Is it before the start of the game? Is that something you're going to be looking for tomorrow? Or are you going to be looking for a bit more? Do you know what I mean? I thought the guys were fairly relaxed.
They probably feed off me for that. I don't sort of get panicky or anything like that. So, but yeah, I guess we'll probably have to have a little bit more calm, but intent in our preparation.
Great opportunity though, isn't it? To get redemption so quickly after last year. I mean, sometimes they can burn in the guts for years and years, and you get to bounce straight back and have a crack again tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely, but I don't know about redemption. We'll never get 2013 back.
No, you don't.
Every year's.
But hopefully it steels the guys to at least know how
Definitely,
it feels, particularly with your group that you got now. And you'd hope a year later, maybe a bit more leadership on field if things do go a bit pear-shaped.
Yep. No, you can certainly, because it is fresh and you can learn from it, I guess, yeah.
I think both teams, we can all agree that both teams are coming into the grand final in ripping form. At the start of the year it was Waikerie, Renmark, on top of the table, and then Loxton North had their turn. But the second half of the year it's been all about Barmera and Waikerie. So how important is that momentum for you guys heading into tomorrow?
Oh, massively important. Our back half or third of the season, I guess. It was we only dropped a game, the last minor round game to Loxton North, and that is what it is. We didn't really sort of show our cards, I guess, too much, and come out the week after really primed, ready to go. Looking back to our previous sort of 6 weeks, so no, boys are up and about.
Didn't pull a Aussie Basketball World Championships deal and tank in that last game so you could get an easy way through, did it?
If anyone heard my pre-game speech before that last minor round game, they'd know that we were definitely trying to win a game. I don't do anything to come second.
Now, no truth to the rumour that after Port Power last week, having to get the old prison bars that you're bringing out the red and yellow Pelicans is a bit of a surprise for tomorrow.
That'd be great.
Well, we played pretty well in that. So
one for one, and it'd certainly throw Waikerie a bit off balance to see the old Pelicans come running out of that change room.
Those people run the oval a bit too.
Well, the people that were at the game for our Pelicans game,
I was there.
It certainly looked like we had a lot of players on the field because it was very bright. Yeah. No.
Just clear that one up. Just clear that one up.
You go, Nick. Oh, I was just going to ask about Michael Smart. How did he go with his fitness test? Will he play tomorrow?
He got through his fitness test, and it's really probably one of the hardest decisions. Smarty's been probably the best recruit we've had at the footy club, definitely in my time since I've been at Barmera-Monash. And it's, I'm giving him right up until tomorrow basically, so it's pretty doubtful.
So it'll be a last minute call you'll make. Yeah, right. Wow. And who might come in if
Benny Harrington.
Ben Harrington?
Yeah. And he'd be extremely unlucky to miss out.
So Wakery could be in the same boat with Stevens too, you'd imagine, trying to
about
get
his asthma is.
Yeah.
Have you read that, Trevor? That it's not a groin or a hammy as was getting around.
Yeah, well, Shane's told us that it was asthma.
asthma attack to the leg, was it?
Yeah. Wait and see on that one, I think.
But obviously they'll try and do a similar thing, give him as much time as possible.
Oh, most definitely. He's a quality footballer, so you want your best running around.
Yeah, but you also want your fittest, don't you? When it comes to the final decision, it's...
Yeah, you can't take any weaknesses in. Has to be 21 guys and run out the game.
I think that's something that I've really taken all year. If anyone's had a little bit of a cloud, we've just rested them and then given them an extra week, which has probably helped us in the long run. We've been able to blood quite a few young footballers, and a couple of them really stepped up in the last few weeks. Josh Knight and Steve Burton really playing really good football.
Yeah, he's pretty pacey, young Burton, isn't he?
Yeah, well, they're all pretty quick,
Yeah.
mate. They're quicker than us, so...
He just looks, he doesn't look out of place at all. Burton, he's just got a calmness and a awareness of what's going on around him from what I've seen this year.
Yeah, I did ask his old man Ben if he actually slept in a freezer, so he's pretty...
He certainly didn't get his pace from his old man, that's for sure. Maybe he's Endeavour though, because he certainly wasn't shy of Endeavour.
If you're looking at the opposition, I know you look at them pretty closely, Rambo. Who are the guys you're looking at from a Wakery point of view tomorrow?
They've got a new Willis medalist, so I've always rated young Tim. He's a fantastic footballer, so you got to put a bit of time into him. Bratton, just such a classy user of the football. And Brandler. I think he's probably been a little bit down, I'd say, the last few games, but he really hurt us when we played Wakery down there.
Yep.
He was just fantastic in the second half.
So that'd be a job for the skipper, maybe. You had a burning question.
A burning question. Oh, I don't want to drag it back up, Shane, but you are going to tag someone and not let him run around like Ryan Proud did last year, aren't you? You are going to do that.
Ryan did have an opponent last year. It's just that he failed to carry out his duties properly. So.
Well, not a problem for you this year anyway, and you've managed to get past them every time you played them almost, with limiting his damage. So, so the only bloke you probably really have a look at is maybe Timmy Bevan, you think, and perhaps Jimmy Thompson.
And Bratton. I mean, there's a few there, and as far as hard tags, probably not. It's just making sure the boys are aware of who we have to sort of
accountability.
Now the aces in your pack are probably Grossi and Dylan Millard. Thoughts of starting them right forward to drag Schreiber and Braun out of that centre half back where they like to mount attacks.
Grossi he'll start out at the goal square, but he runs up through the midfield as well. And we have a number of different players that come out of the goal square. So
young Butts looks good down there too, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a classic footballer, isn't he?
Yeah, really good.
Yeah. Anyone really, even Ryan Landcake, he kicks goals for us every week, so
plenty of options up there.
Make him accountable, mate.
Yeah. Now you're going to go through the teams?
Yep, so we'll go through the teams. We'll just start off with Barmera-Monash. So from the forward line, it's going to be Ryan Landcake, Adam Gross and Zach Butterworth. Across half forward, Lockie Middleton, Big Muzz Middleton at centre half forward, and the young rising star Sam Butterworth on the other forward flank. Across the middle, Benny Drogamuller on the wing, another young fella. Malcolm Greenwood, obviously a proven player there in the guts, and the old stager Michael Smart on the other wing, 37 years old, so hopefully gets through that fitness test tomorrow morning. The skipper on the half-back flank, Matty Layson, and Dylan Millard centre half-back. We all know what sort of player he is, all class, and Jack Self on the other back flank. And across fullback we've got Cade Bowes, Nick Poon and Josh Buecker. So in the ruck we've got Danny Millard and Aaron Dart, who's had a super year, and Jakey Smith, the goal kicking machine this year. And on the bench from Steve Burton, Luke Chamberlain, Ben Harrington, Dylan Bingbill and young Josh Knight. So pretty handy line up there for the Barmera-Monash. Alright. So for Wakery from the forward line, young Elliot Mondra, Sean Steele, last year's B grade medalist up at full forward, and Damien Stevens, where they line up like that, we're not sure. Jimmy Thompson may go to the goal square. Adam Bradlow across half forward flank, Stephen Braun centre half forward, and Jimmy Thompson on the other flank. Tristan, I think it's Geeman on the wing, who was the other Rising Star winner.
That's what he wanted to.
Yeah, very cool. Michael Bratton in the middle, very quality player, and Grant Van Reen on the other wing. Matty Butcher, Team of the Year member, across the back flank. The skipper Craig Miller at centre half back. Matty Wilson on the other back flank. Luke Exton in the back pocket. Glenn Schreiber, who Nobby touched on there. We really got to, the Barmera boys are really going to make sure they man him up, and I think we've got Jackson Sutton in the back pocket. So very handy first lineup there. And then in the ruck we've got Reed Beeching, who may or may not be carrying a bit of an injury. Craig Wilson, the running machine. He's named in the middle, so if he's playing there, we'd expect him probably maybe with the tag, I'd imagine. And Timmy Bevan, the Willis medalist. And on the bench, Justin Delazoppa, Aaron Thompson and Ben Venning. So that's a real quality bench that Wakery have got there with those three boys. So
you wouldn't expect Venning to spend too long on the bench, Nick, I wouldn't imagine.
Well, you expect him to give some relief to Beeching, I think. Yeah. If Beeching's groin or whatever it is, hip is playing up, you know.
My tip is they'll both start on the field first bounce.
Yeah. Benning
The theory's coming out of you.
Yeah, that's my tip.
Conspiracy theories.
And I mean, you know, it's a bit unfortunate we couldn't get someone from Wakery up here, but...
Yeah, well look, the Wakery fellas did want to have somebody here, but just couldn't quite work it. No one's fault, so yeah, just one of those things. But we're great, very glad that Shane's here anyway.
The guys that miss out for Wakery, going on their team list event tomorrow, which is Scott Pogorecki and Tommy Truscott, which must be a tough thing for those lads and for the coach as well. What's that like, Rambo? Just maybe explain to the guys who haven't coached what it's like to actually drop someone from the side, because it's never a nice thing, especially for a grand final.
I guess I touched on a bit in last week's game plan. It's just not the enjoyable part of coaching. You know, you're always going to get the naysayers and people bagging you and that sort of thing. And when you stick your hand up to be a coach, that just disappears. You know, you don't worry about that. The hardest thing is because you obviously build up a personal relationship with these guys one-on-one as well as a collective group, and you know, you do become quite close to them. And you know, having played footy, and you know, you're aiming to play in the grand final. That's every player's ultimate goal, is to play in the grand final and hopefully win it. So to know what they're probably sort of thinking, what way they're going to turn, you know, are they going to take it on board, or are they just going to walk away from the game, or yourself, or the team? It's just the hardest thing to do. It really is, and something that really keeps me awake.
Yeah, so. I'll tell you what though, there hasn't been 1-1 where someone isn't unlucky.
Exactly right.
And it doesn't matter what level of footy.
Yeah. And sometimes it can make a play. You know, they miss out on the one the year before, and it drives them onto the one the next year or the next time they play. So
that's what we can hope for, Nick, is that it does drive them. And but you know, we as a coach, you're also responsible for not just that one player. You're responsible for the club. So you know, you've got to make those tough decisions.
Now, of course, it's a big day of footy at Berry, and it all starts at about 8:30 in the morning, Nick.
Yep, that's right.
Do you want to run through those other grand finals?
Yep, so obviously we've got the under-13s grand final between Berry and Wakery. It'd be pretty hard pressed to go past Berry here. They haven't lost all year. The boys have been ticking along pretty well down there, and you know, the Wakery lads have done well. They've been right behind them all year, but just haven't quite been able to match it with the Demons. So, and it's great for Berry, you know, for the Berry lads, getting to play on their home ground as well in the under-13, so which is great. That Wakery v Renmark under-15s grand final. You know, under-15s over the years have thrown up some pretty awkward results. You know, there's been a few over the years where there's been upsets where it didn't look like there would ever be one. So you have to give Renmark a chance for that reason. But once again, Wakery undefeated throughout the year, so they're going to be pretty tough. We'll quickly touch on the under-18s one with you, Rambo. You obviously know about the Barmera boys. They're up against Loxton North. What can you tell us about that, mate?
Yeah, they've had some a couple tough games against North, and you know, probably wasn't a real surprise to our boys that North actually got up last week. They're a good unit. A lot of those guys played in a premiership, under-18 premiership last year, so they know what it's about. So yeah, expect a pretty tight game. That being said, our guys they're fairly confident. You know, a lot of them had a bit of a taste of A-grade footy this year, and they're playing some really exciting football at the moment. So
good for the future for you guys, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So Dale Lemon his 451st game in the grand final.
It's amazing. From what I hear, he doesn't train a lot these days, which is very understandable. But to make 450 games is amazing, and he's well on the way to 500. So great effort from Dale.
Yeah, another massive club achievement for Waikerie to have 4 teams out of the 5 in there. There'll be a caravan or a flotilla of cars coming up that Sturt Highway tomorrow, and all roads leading to Berry, I guess.
Well, imagine if they win all 4. How good would that be?
Well, I'm not sure how good that would be for our guests.
That's so good.
Yeah, lift the bridge after the second side gets over.
Well, it could be. They could win all 4. They could lose all 4, or anywhere in between. So it
good effort.
Should be a big day. Yeah, fantastic effort from the club, doing good things down there. So we'll just go through and we'll get a few tips for the A-grade game from us 3. Obviously, Rambo's going to tip the Barmera boys. We'll have a tip and a Murray Pioneer Best on Ground winner as well, because that's a big award on the day. So Nobby,
look, I got a feeling that, and I know Shane's not looking at his redemption, but I've got a feeling the Barmera boys they won't need too much motivating. They should settle a bit better than they did probably last year. I think the occasion got to them a little bit, just from what I watched. I mean, from the outside, I reckon they'll settle a bit. You've got Waikerie, who are really nothing to lose. They've come from the clouds in the last round and a bit, I suppose, even though they promised early. So I'm going to stick with the boys from Lakeside, and look, I've got a feeling that a lot of the bigger players will get attention, and not downplaying his effort, but I've got a real feeling that Mal Greenwood and Jake Smith, either of those blokes, will be BOG, and it gets back to who has the most influence on the game for me, and I think Mal well could have a lot of influence in the middle, but look for Jake to be getting it on the scoreboard as well. So for me, either of those 2 blokes probably leaning towards young Smithy, quality lad, and never shirks an issue.
Goal kicker too.
All right,
Mitch.
Yeah, I see it as a match-up between Barmera's runners and the young fellas that Rambo's brought through so expertly. Done a fantastic job with them, and yeah, they've really got some wheels. Barmera, I've seen Barmera lots of times this year. I only seen Waikerie once, so I have to put that out there. But Waikerie seem to have the big man strength versus Barmera's legs. It's a genuine toss of the coin for me, and I think I'll go with Barmera-Monash just in a real tight grand final, a classic grand final, and best on ground I have to go Matt Layson. Every time I've seen Barmera play this year, Rambo, he's just been outstanding. Like, he floats across, he takes marks, his disposal would have to be second to none just about in the team.
Yeah, he's one of the best in the league by foot, one of the best marks, brave. Yeah. Just leads from the front, and it's good to see him get some recognition this year in the Willis Medal. I think his previous year's highest votes was something like 4 or something for a season.
Don't be surprised if he has a constant companion though. I don't think he will get the latitude he gets. He won't get the latitude he gets in the minor end.
Look, and he just reads the ball and everything so well. So there you go, Barmera-Monash double. I'll go with the Roos into Matt Layson.
Beautiful.
What's that paying, Mitch? Any idea?
It'll pay very well.
That would be some very good odds, I think.
Yeah.
It's hard for me, obviously, not having seen a lot of the games this year. So I'm going to play devil's advocate here, and I'm going to go for Waikerie. Sorry, Shane.
Sorry, mate.
I just hope it's going to be a close game, and we've been pretty lucky over the years to get some really close ones. So I hope it's another one. I'll go with Jimmy Thompson for the Murray Pioneer Best on Ground. He kicked 7 goals twice in a row, heading into the finals, and I think he's a player that if he gets loose,
if he does kick 7, Nick, you could be right on the money, but I've got a feeling this bloke next to me is not going to let that happen.
Well, you might want to make me do it on camera. Very good. All right. So thank you to Shane for coming down, and really appreciate you spending your time down here. Obviously, you've got bigger fish to fry tomorrow, so to come down and have a chat with us is fantastic.
Always a pleasure to hang out in your guys' company. It's we've had some good times, haven't we, Nobby?
We sure have. Funny trips, and good to see. And on that, Shane, good to see the Rook boys get over the line last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's awesome.
20 years in the making.
Yeah, it's fantastic. We weren't quite good enough 10 years ago, but it's good. Great that the old club got up.
Yeah, good to see a couple of those blokes been around for a while too, like Twinners and Joey Abdullah get reward for effort over the years. So
absolutely. Fantastic. All right, that's it for us. Enjoy the footy today. Have a good one.